once more we have this excellent book written by Grandmaster Zenon Franco, Morphy Move by Move. It's very, very important for every beginner to get a look at Morphy's games, because Morphy's games are the basic for which you can build and improve your chess. Then of course there are other game collections that I will show you to progress from there. I would like to show you game number 7 from this book. It's Paul Morphy versus Liechtenstein in the 4th American Congress semi-final game 2 in New York 1857, so before the Civil War. Can you imagine, guys, how lucky we are that we have games from more than 150 years ago that we can enjoy today. So Morphy was white, okay? E4, E5, bishop C4. This is what is called bishop opening. Knight F6, and here knight F3, leaving this M3, right? Because again, in the open games, what you want to do is to open the lines, bring out your pieces, attack, attack, attack. And black gives this possibility. Knight takes E4. Knight C3 and D5. Notice that there are, if black would have tried to keep the pawn with knight takes c3, and here Zenon does a good job in showing you what happens, okay? Instead of trying to hold the extra pawn, after it plays d takes c3 because you open, f6 because you try to block this knight from going here, or all the mess that comes, no? But it can still be difficult to do, okay? Let's see what he says. After 5, f6, it says tac, tac, c6. He also shows a line with c6 instead of f6, which is also interesting, because the idea is this, obviously, to block if he tries to attack. So, entering the Boden-Kierycki gambit, return the pawn to c. Okay. Morphy himself, in a casual game in London in 1858 against Samuel Boden, one of the inventors of this game, it varied with 5c6. So Morphy played this. Incredible. Let's see what happens. Knight takes e5, d5, castle. Bishop d6 is good, better than taking, okay? Because what happens if you take? Boom, right? And you have this. And after this, rook e1. If you try this, it seems that it goes really bad, because there could be this, and this, and the game probably is over. So again, there is a big annotation here with all the lines that come out from here, and it's kind of interesting, to tell you the truth, to see what happens. Okay? It seems the game in which Morphy played with c6 ended in a draw. But white could have won. Well, again, I tell you, buy a book of Morphy's game. There are books with maybe 200, 300 games by Morphy. I think I have another one. Yes, I was right. I had another book of Morphy's games. But Also, if this game book, I bought it more or less for just reading the stories inside, because here you can see that he has a kind of biography of Morphy. In reality, the games are in the infamous descriptive notation that nobody likes. And as you can see, for the games, they use the Roman numerals. In this case, is game number 60. I don't know if you like the descriptive notation, this is the book for you. Honestly, I love the diagrams. All the diagrams, I love them. I think, I don't know if it's Dover, they should make an edition with the algebraic, which by the way is not very difficult to do. Maybe one day, if I have time, I think I will translate these games in algebraic. For the moment, let's return back to the initial position and see how the game went. So quickly, let's restart the game. e4, e5, bishop c4, we said it's called bishop opening, knight f6, knight f3, knight takes c4. This way of returning to the position through the moves is very useful because it allows you to learn to memorize these kind of games. Why it's important to memorize them? Because once more, when you will be in a tournament over the board, memory will be only your assistant allowed in the game. All the others are generally illegal, right? You cannot use a computer. d5, bishop takes d5, knight f6. So notice that while Morphy is playing in his typical style, also black is not playing badly, because with d5 he has opened the diagonal for this. So also black knows how to play chess. Bishop b3, bishop d6, d3, and castle. So it seems that this line was in fashion in that time, so 1857, because black played that kind of same opening as white, okay? So imagine we are 150 years in the past, and yet they had their own opening theory. h3, h6. Of course, here, guys, I'm trying to avoid to read you all the notes and just enjoy the game, because it's kind of interesting. I love Morphy's game. However, at this point, Zenon asked for an exercise. He said, what idea did h3 contain in addition to ruling out bishop g4? What is the reason why h3? So it seems it also was to prevent this move, knight g4. Okay? Why? Because white wants to play this move, bishop e3, and he cannot play it if this is not here. Okay? So that is the reason. Knight c6, queen d2, and knight e5. And this is a good decision, because you see this bishop here pinning this is kind of well placed, because in some cases the queen is able to enter here and it starts to become a mess. So that bishop is a killer, and knight a5 is a good idea to get rid of it, right? Okay, so what would you play here if you were Morphy. And notice that there is another book by New in Chess which is all about this type of move, that is g4, g5 practically. So you will see that there is a book that is all about that. g4, knight takes b3, a takes b3, opening the file, bishop d7. And now what would you play as white? Once more, Morphy must prepare the attack, right, on the king side. Which move would help to do that? And the answer is rook g1. So as you can see, also if this video is not made for teaching you chess, this book has so many good questions that are going to help you improve in your chess, just trying to answer the question that the author uses. Notice also one thing, here the price was like $29, but I think it was less expensive than that, because luckily there are always discounts on books, and generally 1 hour with the Grandmaster is like $100. Here for like $20 in reality I have got like I don't know, maybe in order to watch all the games, I think 40 hours of training. So 40 hours of training for $100, it's $4,000, right? So it's not a joke here, that we are saving for $1,000 for learning chess. But of course you must put yourself serious to answer the questions, no? What would you do as white? So the move is rook g1. You need to find it. You don't find it, you ask yourself why? No, I couldn't find it. Or at least you learn a better idea. Knight h7, knight e4, and obviously, as you can see, why he plays this? Because this knight is not here anymore, and so it's trying to go near the opponent king, bring all the pieces near for a final attack. Okay, king h8, g5, h5. Logically, you don't want to play this, right? You want to keep the position close, but obviously white is gonna open it. Knight h4, g6 is trying to seal the king side, but queen e2, again, attack, 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 relentless attack. Bishop c6 and f4. This f4, it's dubious. It seems, and this is why you want to buy a book like this one, that Steinitz called this move hazardous and unsound. So you see, the author of the book did the homework of going to check if there were comments or analysis made previously, found one by Steinitz, which means more than 100 years ago, on this game, and included it in this book. So that for me is great, right? So now is e takes f4, but if you want to take black side and find what was the best defense, I can give you a little spoiler. It seems that this move was quite strong, okay? And there is a note which says Max Lange, another player of the period, analyzed Morphy's games. Once more, as you can see, if players of that period, Steinitz, world champion, or this Max Lange analyze Morphy's games, it means that they are important and a fundamental block in your chess improvement. Okay? And so you need to do it too. So e takes f4, bishop d4, check, king g8. Again, exercise how did Morphy continue the attack, which means now you stop the video and try to find a move that Morphy would have played or that you would have played as white if you were in this position. Boom! Knight f5. Amazing, right? Amazing move. But obviously you need to answer why taking here is wrong. And of course you need to find it, okay? So if you want, you can pause and I can answer that for you. If you take here on f5, you lose because knight f6, check. And then it follows this. Queen takes h5. And okay, notice that this knight f5 is threatening knight h6 checkmate. So that's kind of a problem, right? That you might not have seen. But in case you don't see that this move is checkmate, once more, as you can see, you need to obtain a book on Morphy's games, that could be also this one, and watch all of them and try to understand them, and that will make you improve. Okay, rook h8, rook e8, knight h6. This time it's not checkmate because he can escape, no? But what is the next step, right? The next step obviously is to bring the last piece into the game. What is the last piece? We are at move 22 and this rook has never been used. And that's why you want to watch Morphy's games, because he brings all the pieces into the game and show you how to attack. Bishop takes e4. Guys, notice that I don't really put all the lines that the author has given, okay? Partly because I don't see the reason to rob the author of the endless hour of analysis that he has done for us. He must be paid, right? And partly because I think for a video maybe it would become a little too boring. But with that said, again, you need to do your own analysis at least. Queen e7. So if you don't want to buy the book, you need to watch Morphy's games and do your own analysis. For example, after this move, again, the author says, and he also tells you, this is a very difficult position, okay? But he tells you what is white's best continuation now. Because you can think that it's all about rating. What were they rated? We don't know, because the rating didn't exist. So you need to find the right move, right? But how do you do that if you don't even know the rating of these players? Because this could be a grandmaster move. Morphy continue with e5. And this is a very complicated line that Morphy has calculated. That's why probably he was the best of this period, because he was really able to calculate very far. Bishop takes e5, bishop takes e5, queen takes e5, great move, and now white plays rook d7, okay? This is a fine move, key to the white's idea, but is not decisive. It seems that there was a way here. Let's see, what could have been the way for black to actually avoid a big loss or having a better defense. Let's see if there is a line. Let's see. Okay, in this position, black should have played knight takes g5. And here there is a long line that shows that black was able to defend. Obviously, they probably found it thanks to the computer. More than 150 years ago, there were no computers, so nobody found it up to today. What was played in the game? Queen g7, not so good. And also king g7 wasn't good, okay? So just to tell you how the things are. So queen g7, queen c4. The threat is obviously queen c5, but also there is a capture here. Rook e7, rook takes e7, king takes e7, rook e1, and here it seems black resign. Okay? So why did black resign? What is the next move? You need to find out that, because that obviously will help you to become a better player. Again, an interesting game by Morphy. Try to analyze by yourself what are the reasons why a player resigns, because also that, or try to play it against a friend in this position. You try to play it and you see how you win. Okay? I hope you enjoyed the game, and I hope you will watch some of Morphy's game. Okay? Try to watch this book because it's a very good book that will teach a lot about chess.